Hi, I'm Shuichi Murakami. Welcome to the Basics of Landscape Form series. In the last episode, we made simple sketches to find the basic shapes in a landscape. Now let's go one step further. This time, we will try to see shapes like rectangular blocks and cylinders in the landscape. These simple forms help us think more clearly about space and design. Let's begin. The landscapes we see every day are full of complex and diverse shapes. But when imagine them as simple three-dimensional forms, their overall structure and relationships become clear. For example, buildings can be seen as rectangular blocks and tree trunks as cylinders. By thinking this way using 3D geometric shapes, we can better understand the spatial structure of the landscape, including its depth and sense of volume. These are rocks stacked in steps in a seaside plaza. When viewed as rectangular blocks, you can feel the dynamic sense of volume. This is a fence along the coast. If we see it as thin, flat rectangular block, it clearly shows how it separates the sea from the promenade. These are roofs placed at the entrance of a pier. This can be seen as flat rectangular blocks. They appear dynamic as if flying through the air. This is a large tree standing in a common. When interpret it as a cylinder, it takes on a symbolic presence, almost like a monument, compared to other cylindrical forms nearby, such as light poles or rotunda. Its visual impact is much stronger. Here we see a row of mooring posts on the pier. Focusing only on their cylindrical shapes, we can sense a rhythmic pattern and a feeling of depth. And this is a group of large trees in a green belt. Their thick trunks create the impression of being surrounded by strong vertical elements, like standing inside a forest of columns. By seeing the landscape as a composition of simple 3D geometric shapes, you can get a clear sense of spatial structure. This way of seeing helps you develop a better feel for the relationships and balance between elements. That awareness is also essential when designing spaces. By now, you might be thinking, a landscape has different elements coexisting together. This is a seaside promenade with trees and fences. On the left, a row of cylinders stretches into the distance, and on the right, a long slab-like rectangular block continues away. This is a tree-lined avenue with historic houses. In addition to the parallel rows of a slab-like rectangular block and cylinders on either side, the paving of the sidewalk also acts as a flat rectangular block, adding a sense of depth. So far, we have looked at the elements themselves as geometric shapes, but you can also see the voids between them as geometric forms. Here, a long plaza is enclosed by column-like elements, creating single large rectangular void. On this stylish street, rows of honey locust trees form a green tunnel with their columns and canopies. This can be seen abstractly as a rectangular void. Here is today's summary. Seeing landscape forms as geometric shapes helps you understand the relationships between elements. Developing a sense for composition is essential when it comes to design. In the next episode, we will explore the landscape as three-dimensional space made up of elements above you, beside you, and under your feet. See you in the next episode.